Hey, Grande Alive. This is Will Bowman, and I'm here with Samantha LeBold and Theresa Stratton with our newest episode of Travel Tramps. This video is brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Marketplace Family Foods, Valley Realty, Grand Run Hospital, and, first and foremost, the inceptor of the show, Alegre Travel. So, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So, they just recently, or not, I guess not recently, they returned from a trip to Ireland, and we're gonna look at some pictures and talk a little bit about their trip to Ireland. So first of all, tell me a little bit about the clothes each of you are wearing, starting with Samantha.
Well, we stopped in Donegal, well-known tweed. They're known for their tweed, and we got to
Now, what is tweed?
Are you kidding?
I am not kidding. Please enlighten this ignorant heathen to what tweed is.
Do you not know what tweed suits are?
Oh, okay, I
And
gotcha.
the weaving, and it was, we got a lot of retail therapy there, and we spent a lot of money. We dropped a lot of money in Donegal.
Lots of money.
All of us ended up with tweed clothing. This isn't tweed, but it was a wool shawl that I found there that I really liked, and the hat I picked up along the way, and I have a little button here that I got in Scotland somewhere along the way.
So you are all Scotland, Ireland decked out.
Absolutely.
I got this in the Dingle Peninsula in a little shop, and they were having a fall sale. And so I had to pick up, I got this for 30 euros, which is a little over about $35 US dollars. And this is a heather gem, and it is made out of heather in Scotland, which is a brush, and they collect it and clean it and compact it and slice it and heat it up, and then they color it, and then they come out with these all kinds of different kinds of jewelry.
Wow. Now, is
So-
shopping a big tourist thing in this area, or were these just shops?
There's shops everywhere, and very, very modestly priced. Nothing is outrageous. It's shopping is wonderful. Retail shopping. Our bus did keep the GMP going in Ireland and Scotland probably for another week or two.
You know, that's one thing that I don't think people really understand is that our tourist dollars mean a lot to these, international countries. We support them, and they appreciate us, and they treat us really, really well. So
Treat people with money.
they like seeing us coming.
So let's talk about some pictures. So Theresa, tell me about what's going on here.
Well, this is in Edinburgh, Scotland, and this is the Royal Mile, and this is the way the Queen got up to the Edinburgh Castle.
Wow. I mean, she's obviously not in the picture now.
No, she's not in the
Did
picture
she still
now.
go along this way?
I think she was there recently, but it had been a while.
No, it's very good for retail therapy also.
Definitely.
This guy looks happy down here on the bottom right, so he must have been doing some retail therapy.
Yes, definitely. The weather was absolutely beautiful over there. We were over there 16 days, and it only rained about a day and a half when we were there. And when it rained, it rained.
Yeah, yeah. I like the Royal Mile. If you can imagine, it's a mile of this. I mean, this is not just where the buildings and the architecture
Yes, the cobblestone streets.
weave down through, and it's a mile long of walking through these amazing, beautiful buildings.
It looks gorgeous.
It's
It looks
pretty
absolutely
fascinating.
gorgeous. So, Samantha, tell me, what is this?
I'm going to let Theresa tell you because she knows.
All right,
She
Theresa,
paid
tell me, what is
attention.
this?
This is a St. Andrew's Church in St. Andrews, and they started building it in 1190, and it took them over 200 years to build. And you can see right out here is the North Sea. That was one of their, they built it along the sea because that was a protection for them if it was ever to get attacked. And it is this is a beautiful, beautiful old church that there's a little bit of it remaining. But I know you went up into the tower, didn't you?
Yeah, I went up into the tower where they used to watch and see that, if the enemies were coming in and all of that kind of thing.
It's interesting thinking about a tower looking for enemies in a cathedral.
Bizarre.
Yes.
At St. Andrews, there's the significance of St. Andrews is it's very well known for their golf. The golf courses around there I don't know much about golf. But
So
that's
one of
where
the
they go.
oldest golf courses in the world is Dunhill, and we got to drive right by Dunhill.
I've heard of that.
Yes.
I've heard of people playing golf at St. Andrews, or near St. Andrews.
Yes, and then St. Andrews College, the university, is one of the oldest colleges they figure in the world, and it started back in 1413.
Wow.
So,
And that's where Will and Kate met. So we actually got to go to the college where
yes.
they went to school and where they met, and we
Very
saw the
cool.
coffee shop where they met too. So that was
Very
kind of
cool.
fun.
Okay, Samantha, tell me, who is this and what is this?
Well, this is just a group shot of all of us. We were in Scotland at the, what is that? I can't remember. Armadale
Yeah.
Castle. And obviously the weather was great. This is all my people. These were our two tour guides. As you can see, the gentleman on the right is wearing his kilt. So
Yeah,
that
of
was
course.
fun. He was our Scotland guide, and he was wonderful. The guy on the left was our Ireland guide. We were with CIE Tours, as you can see, the motor coach in the back. And obviously, everybody's all smiles, and we're having a great time.
It looks like you guys are having a fantastic time. And apparently enough so that they are telling everybody that we need to be here.
Look at
yeah,
in
definitely.
pink. Who's that in pink? Is that Sue?
I think
Look at
it
her
might
face.
be, yes. And there's a big rift between the Irish and the Scottish kilts
I was
also.
actually going to ask about that.
It's
yeah.
very, very interesting because our tour guide from Ireland kind of made fun of our tour guide from Scotland that he didn't have a real full kilt because the quote, the whole 9 yards,
I've
came
heard
from
about that. Yep.
a 9 yards of material to make
the
a
kilt.
kilt.
I have actually heard that before. Okay, Theresa, tell me about this.
This is if you're a Harry Potter fan.
A Harry Potter pan.
Yes, exactly. You have seen this several times. This is where the steam engine goes across the bridge.
Oh, wow.
And it was really fun to see. And there's some beautiful rock formations around there. The granite has a lot of sparkle in it that is lying around the place where we took the pictures. It was a beautiful fall day.
Very cool. Anything to add about that on this one, Samantha?
No, it's just, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. But this is a stop that is made specifically
Yeah,
for.
I'm not a big Harry Potter fan either.
And
So
we-
this is for you, LeGrand Alliance. This one's for you.
Yeah, we saw other Harry Potter stuff. We saw the graveyard where she had gotten the inspiration for a lot of the characters.
Huh.
We got to walk through there. We saw the elephant room,
Yes, the elephant the coffee
shop
house.
where she
Yes.
wrote the book. So it was kind of fun. If you like Harry Potter, not my thing, but it was cool.
So Theresa, tell me about what this is.
This means a lot to me. I learned so much about Northern Ireland. This is a part of the Peace Wall, and on both sides of the street, the Peace Wall probably runs 3/4 of a mile on each side, and
That specific section, but it's miles and miles.
yes,
long.
it's miles and miles, and you can see that anyone can sign it. And I think Samantha, you signed it, didn't you? This
Yeah,
time?
I signed it the last time I was there.
And it started out with murals supporting the IRA, and because there was a big, there's been unrest for hundreds and hundreds of years between the Catholics and the Protestants. And on both sides of this street is where one side was Protestants and one side was Catholics.
Oh, wow. Now, that's not still up?
No, there are some dissidents, some
Yes.
Catholic dissidents that,
Well-
the wall is still up, oh yes.
No, but it's not essentially dividing
No,
Protestants,
it's
Catholics
no,
anymore.
it's for peace, international causes now, and
They talk about it because this was as recent as 2007
yes,
is when they call Northern Ireland, specifically Belfast, a young city, even though it's very old. But it's like they're coming out of this unrest and they're free, or whatever you want to say. There was a lot of unrest there, and so much so that a lot of people didn't travel there. And even on our tours, the Belfast Wall is not really a specific stop or tour or excursion that people offer. I had to
wow.
actually request
Huh.
that they take us here because, I don't, and it's not unsafe. I never felt unsafe.
I did never feel unsafe.
But it's pretty new. Like I said, this all goes back just to 2007, which is not very long ago.
Wow.
And it means a lot to people, and on both of our tours, it's probably been the most favorite stop that we've ever done. It's just very moving. It's kind of like going to a concentration camp in Germany. It's just that sobering, somber when you're talking about it and looking at it, and because it was
kind of a reminder of what these things that are obviously a big part of our lives can do to us if we let them.
We're very fortunate that we don't have the unrest that these other countries do.
They say that there's a few Catholic dissidents still out there, but they're not supported by anyone.
Sure.
And it's so that the youngness of that city, they say in the next 10 years it's going to grow from 1.5 million in Northern Ireland to 3 million people.
Wow.
So it's growing very fast again, and it's a beautiful city, beautiful city.
So Samantha, why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Well, this is the Giant's Causeway, one of the more amazing landscapes in Northern Ireland. As you can see, they're known for their basalt columns. I am so far up on the cliff that you can hardly see them, but these are people walking down. This is where all the people down there and walking out onto the basalt columns. I did not go down there because I've been down there before, but I was up running around.
Yeah, I went down
hills.
there, and they say there's 40,000 of those basalt columns around the Giant's Causeway.
Wow.
That's just a beautiful landscape that people like to travel to and check out. And there's a story behind the giants.
Mm-hmm. That an Irish
and the
Scot giants got mad at each other, and they felt the Irish giant Finn McCool felt he was being threatened by a Scottish giant, and that the Finn threw these giant pieces of rocks out to make a path. And when he got over there, he got scared that the Scottish giant was way too big, and so he ran back across.
She paid attention. It's just kind of a funny story, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful landscape, and the trails just go for miles and miles along the cliffs. And
their tourist center is, oh my gosh, it's amazing. They have the big legend playing with the two giants continually playing in their gift store, their beautiful gift store. Every single place that we stopped at had some place for you to get refreshments and, of course, to do some retail therapy if you wanted to. And prices were all the same. They were not, just because it was a gift store did not mean that they raised their prices.
Absolutely.
So
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Theresa, tell me about
Sligo
what's going on
Abbey.
here. Yeah.
This was a friar, and they figure in this friar, in this abbey, there's between 6,000 and 10,000 people that are buried there.
Wow.
And it's not very big.
It is very, very small.
Very small. So
they figure that they're 1 to 6 deep buried, and that was when the cholera outbreak happened in Sligo, and it was about a 6-week epidemic. And in fact, the most interesting fact about this that I'll always remember is Bram Stoker's mother. She must have been watching this at this abbey, from what I can imagine, to make sure nobody dug up bodies. And he got his inspiration for Dracula from the Sligo Abbey.
Which is a fantastic book.
Oh yes.
If any of you, Legrand, have not read Bram Stoker's Dracula, you do not know vampire books and movies until you have done that.
Definitely.
Coming up, the Shakespeare troupe is going to be doing it, so you should go.
But yeah, because they had to literally bodies were just piled on top of each other.
Wow.
There was so many dead bodies, and apparently some of them are living still. They were piling people on top of each other, and there were actually people that were underneath people that were still alive.
Oh my gosh.
And they say that Bram Stoker was around all of that and witnessed some of that, and that's where he got his inspiration.
So what are these?
That's my favorite.
These are your favorite?
Yeah.
Tell us
I'll
about
let her
these
talk
then.
about
yeah.
this.
Just another beautiful formation of cliffs, miles and miles and miles long, that you could spend days on. Just a beautiful, as you can see, beautiful. I am way, way far away from this is the visitor center.
The visitor center.
yeah.
You can climb up into that.
I was late getting back to the bus that day, as you can imagine. But I had been there before, so I was very fortunate to get to go what I hadn't gotten to do before, I went and did this time, and
Sure.
left these guys off to go do the other stuff. So it's just a beautiful formation of cliffs that I really
They're beautiful. And then how far, do you know how far they run?
miles and miles, and the trails along it are, they're made of shale.
Yeah.
And so the trails used to be real close to the edges, and they're not close to the edges anymore. They're kind of back off and they've got signs everywhere saying, warning,
Don't go off of the trail.
because there are parts that are falling away.
Yeah, well, shale definitely does, it's one of those rocks that just falls to pieces under you.
Yeah.
And you can't rock climb on shale. You can't do
No,
a lot on
no.
shale.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So I think last picture, Theresa.
This is in the National Park of Killarney, and it's 25,000 acres. And we took a carriage ride around the park, an early morning carriage ride. It was a little chilly, but they had blankets for us. And in the background is the Ross Castle. And I can tell you that a lot of our people on this tour got probably their most photogenic and beautiful pictures that morning, fall pictures from around the Ross Castle and the lake that surrounds it.
Beautiful
Beautiful.
setting, right outside, right in the city town of Killarney. And Killarney is known as the major party town in Ireland.
Wow.
And it's always happening, always hopping.
It's always bumping.
Beautiful, beautiful
It is
little
beautiful. And there is, in that park, there's Sitka deer, which are the smaller deer, look like a small mule deer. And then there's red stag deer that are between probably a mule deer and what the size of an elk is. And there were some beautiful stags in the park
Wow.
that day.
Very cool. Well, I think that is it. So, they're beautiful. So we're going to end our episode today with some more pictures from the trip that we have, and just let people take a look at it. But thank you guys so much for coming in and showing me your pictures. And what's on the roster next, Samantha, for Alegre Travel?
Well, our group tours, we have Italy coming up in April, and Cindy is taking a group of people to Italy, and she's doing really well. She's got lots of people signed up so far, and we're still taking more. I have another trip to Inca. We're going to hike the Inca Trail again in June.
Yes, I am.
And we will be doing our river cruise in August from Paris to Prague, and then we're going to be going to Morocco in October. We've got a lot on
lot in the hopper.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in going on any of these or other trips with Alegre Travel, you can go ahead and contact Samantha down there on Main Street in LeGrand. And just mention our other sponsors: Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Valley Realty, Grand Ron Hospital, and Marketplace Family Foods, which just opened up down here on 4th Street and Adams. So thank you so much for tuning into Travel Tramps, and tune into LeGrand Alive for more local content.